What's going on, everybody? This is the latest version of FSD. Actually, just to confirm, 12.5.1.1. Just taking a quick 20-25 minute drive. I thought I'd throw it on and make a little video for everybody. I had an interesting experience today in terms of Tesla that I thought I might share with everybody here. So first off, I just want to say the latest version, this version of FSD is phenomenal. I haven't had any interventions. There is some weird things with speed limits. Sometimes it's a little slow. Occasionally it's a little fast. But overall, I've been really blown away with this FSD. And it continues to improve and make huge strides. And I'm very comfortable with it. I'm very comfortable with my family in the car with it. Not that I do that much, but I am very comfortable with it, and it is very safe. You know, knock on wood. But what happened to me today was kind of interesting. So, you know, there's a lot of talk in the Tesla community about adoption, and you know, for the dollar value, you know, what you pay for what you get, like a Tesla Model 3 or a Tesla Model Y that I'm driving here. And really, I think even the X, the S, the Cybertruck, I mean, they are the best bang for your buck, I would say. Now, you could spend, you know, $200,000 and get some type of like Porsche Cayenne or whatever GT, or you know, some other type of vehicle that, you know, you spend a lot more money and maybe there's some other little premium features, but bang for buck for you know, the average person out there who just wants a good vehicle at a good price, I don't think there's any question that the Tesla vehicles are the best, especially for what you pay for, okay? But a lot of people do not want to drive a Tesla at all. And I had a conversation with someone because, you know, my Model Y is only a 5-seater, okay? And I have some friends coming into town. I need a 7-seater. So I asked a family member, hey, can we swap cars for, you know, the weekend or whatever? Because I need some extra seats and I don't have them, and I just need that, right? Like, ideally. And you know, they're okay with loaning me their vehicle for additional seats for the weekend, not a problem, which I'm very thankful for. And my idea was, hey, why don't you take the Tesla for the weekend? You know, this person usually just drives by themselves, maybe one other person. They don't have an issue with the seating or anything like that. And this car, the price of this car is fairly similar to their vehicle. You know, very similar. They have, you know, a Lexus. This is Tesla. I mean, personally, I think in terms of like brand values, I think it's pretty similar. And you know, there's some nice premium features in that car that this one doesn't, and vice versa, right? So, anyways, no way. They had no interest. They've never driven a Tesla, not one time in their life. I guess they've driven inside of my Tesla and been a passenger or whatever, and the person hates it. They hate the Tesla. They've driven in it. They know it's comfortable. They know it's, you know, they know it's comfortable. They know it has a nice interior, good controls, but has no interest. And even though they're willing to let me borrow their vehicle for the weekend for the additional seating, they in no shape or form are going to use this vehicle while I use theirs. Okay, so we're trying to come up with some other arrangement. But it's an interesting thing, you know. And so I pushed a little bit. I said, well, you know, you've never driven the car. Do you want to try driving it maybe one time, you know, before you decide you hate it? And nope, no interest in driving it, no interest in even just experiencing what it's like. They just hate Teslas, they hate EVs, and something about, oh, I can go to the, you know, the gas station to fill up my tank, you know, which is just, you know, I mean, come on. We all know you can just charge at home, which is way more convenient for most of the time. And I want to just add, this person, okay, this person does not like drive a lot for work, or like for some specific reason need, you know, it's not like they need an F350 for work, or they're just driving, you know, in reality, a Tesla or an EV where, you know, you have, you know, 300, 200, whatever miles of charge would be absolutely perfect for this person, because they really don't do any long distance driving anyways. But no, there's just no interest, nothing. And, you know, I pushed just a little bit, because I just, you know, I was just trying to kind of understand the psychology. And, you know, a lot of people, they like what they like. Probably most of these things that they like, they got from childhood, or, you know, when they were kind of growing up. And if it doesn't fit within that, you know, parameter, they have no interest in trying new things or doing new things. It's just, that's it. You know, it's just a very limited worldview. And it doesn't have to be, you know, logical. It doesn't have to make sense. People just, oh, okay, come on, don't go into the gravel. So, not quite doing this turn in the lanes, but it's okay, especially with no traffic around. So, that was a little iffy, but we're all good. But, you know, I do think there is a personality type, and I don't know what the size of this personality type is. I think it's a lot larger than people think, who are just not interested. You know, and I'll make an analogy, because I think, or a comparison, because I think it's, you know, it's valid. You know, a lot of people who drive Teslas, you're into tech, right? Or like if you ever go to Silicon Valley, like there's Teslas everywhere, right? Because people there, they like to try new things, they like to try new technology, they like to be on the cutting edge. And so when you go to Silicon Valley, I lived there for a long time, there was just Teslas everywhere. And I think I saw about 45% of new car sales like last year were EVs, which is just, you know, that's very high. I mean, I think that's higher than China, you know, even, you know, the big cities. I mean, that is probably the highest in the world, right? I mean, it's just booming there, and people, you know, they try Teslas, they see other people try Teslas, they try them, they like them, and they buy them because they're great vehicles. But a lot of people don't think that way. A lot of people just stick to what they know. And even if there's something better, and it's a great experience, and it's I mean, and you know, personally, I know a lot of people don't care about this, but and to be honest, I don't, this isn't like a deal breaker for me or anything like that. But one thing I like about Tesla, as an American living in America, is it's American car, it's American company. And you know what else I like? I like that a lot of the cars that they sell in Europe, they make in Europe. A lot of the cars that they sell in China and other parts of Asia, they make in China. You know, I think there's something good about that. And the fact that this car doesn't come from Mexico, you know, no offense to Mexico or anything like that, or doesn't come from some other country, I actually think is fantastic. This car is from Fremont, California, and at the time I bought this car, I lived like, you know, 10-15 minutes from Fremont, and, you know, that's the way it should be, right? So, I mean, that's one thing I like about it, but it's just, there's this psychology with these people who just hate Teslas and hate EVs, and, you know, it's, you know, what I'd appreciate is if you guys have experience talking to people like this with that kind of weird, like, they hate Tesla type of thing, and they've never driven a Tesla, they never experienced a Tesla, but they hate EVs and they hate Tesla. Please leave a comment in the section below. Tell me about that. Tell us about it. Tell us about that experience. Tell us about that person. Okay, it's yellow, it's red, it's red. Are you going to stop? Okay, we stopped. It's all good. And just tell us what you think, why that is, what's going on psychologically with people. Because I know we all have things that we're maybe less open-minded about than others, okay? We all do. Everybody does, and I totally understand that. But this is a car, right? It's an inanimate object. It just transfers you from point A to point B. So why would you not like the best transportation? Because it's a little bit different. And, you know, the other thing is, I think there's this, like, thing where people think it's like difficult. It's not difficult. You press on the acceleration, you press on the brake, or you just take your foot off the acceleration. You put it in drive, neutral, reverse. I mean, it's just so simple. It's just crazy. But yeah, that's just something that's been on my mind. So if you guys have any thoughts or comments on that, please share. I love to kind of hear what you guys think, because I do think to a large extent that is why EVs and Tesla are maybe slowing down a little bit, because I think the early adopters, the people who are, you know, more open-minded to it, who are more prone to you know, new technologies, I think most of those people have already, you know, they either already have a Tesla or maybe they just can't afford it, right? It's one of those two things. But I think people who can afford it and who wanted one at this point have probably to a certain extent gotten it. And then I think a lot of people just are not going to transition to EVs. And I think most of those people are probably boomers, or, you know, maybe late Gen X. I know a lot of younger people, you know, millennials and Gen Z, a lot of them like Tesla, but, you know, maybe they do a lot of road tripping or that type of thing. And maybe, you know, there is some type of, you know, there is some type of rational reasoning besides just hating the vehicles. But there's a lot of people, I mean, you guys can see my video. I'm basically out in the country, okay? I'm not, you know, this is in the middle of nowhere, but it's in the country. And, you know, you're seeing more and more Teslas out here, for sure. But there is still a significant amount of people who make comments about Tesla or EVs, who say, oh, you should get a new car. And, you know, it's just silly. I don't know. It's just silly, and it's something that's been on my mind. So please, if you're watching this, if you've experienced this, please share in the comments. I'd really love to hear what other people are going through with this, because, you know, most of the time you don't even think about it, you don't even care, but it's just funny, you know. And to be honest, it reminds me a lot of cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or something like that, you know. I mean, it's clearly solving a problem, right? I mean, we all know that, well, maybe we don't all know, but in general, it's clearly solving, you know, the fiat problem, the no counterparty risk problem. You know, nobody can stop. I mean, there's just a lot of things that it's solving that are very important. And certain people, you know, they just hate it because it's not what they're used to, right? And things have been a certain way, and they just want to keep living that way. And I'm sure I'm like that in a lot of ways too, you know, but I try not to be, and I try to try things, at least, you know, not everything, okay? I'm not talking about like some type of, you know, crazy stuff, but, you know, things that are progressing, that are moving forward. You have to be open-minded. You have to keep your eyes open. You have to be humble to new possibilities, because that's the only way that you're going to get ahead. If you just do things the same way that you've always been doing them, you're not going to get ahead. You're not going to have new experiences. You're not going to grow. So I just had to get that off my chest. Thank you for enjoying that. This has been a very, very smooth ride. There's not a lot of traffic. It's kind of a, you know, it's a Sunday kind of evening, and we're just kind of having a really chill cruise here. But, you know, one of the things I'm loving about the progression at FSD, as it improves, I get more and more comfortable letting the car drive, take over, and I don't have to, you know, I'm here, my hands are not far from the wheel. I mean, they're on the wheel basically, and I'm paying attention to the road. But I'm totally focused more on the, you know, the conversation and kind of what's going on in my head, and I can do that because, you know, the FSD 12.5.1.1.1, I mean, what's going on here, is progressing to such a level where you don't have to worry about those type of things. And I gotta say, I was reading this these tweets. There's this guy called Tesla Cat, or James Tesla Cat, or something like that, and he does a bunch of financial analysis on car sales and other things with Tesla, and he does a tremendous job. I mean, he's probably number one on Twitter. I'm sorry I'm butchering his username on X. Somebody can correct it in the comments, but he was saying, since 2020, he's expected FSD to take a lot longer than people expected. And I think he's right. I think he's definitely right. When FSD was basically lines of code, I think it was not going to get there anytime soon because it's too mechanical. But now with the end-to-end neural network, I don't honestly understand exactly how that works. I understand the concept pretty well, but I really couldn't tell you exactly how that works. But driving with it is tremendous. It works tremendously well. It's very human. It's very casual. It's amazing. And ever since they went to version 12, I mean, my bullishness on FSD on Tesla has only increased significantly. When it was version 11, okay, I would tell my wife, do not use the FSD. Maybe on the freeway. On the freeway, yeah, use it, okay? Freeway, it was always pretty good because, freeway has a lot more simple rules. But on the streets, I'd say don't use it, okay? Now, I mean, I'm still, I don't know how much she uses it because I always drive if she's in the car with me. But now it's good enough where I feel very comfortable. I feel very comfortable that, to be honest, it's probably safer with FSD than if she's driving. And there's probably a lot of people out there. Okay, so it stopped a little early. It's pulling up. It's stopping. Let's see. These cars are flying right here. So let's see how it does. Okay, there's nobody on the left, nobody on the right. It's pulling out, making this turn. Okay, very nice. But there's a lot of people out there that it's going to be much safer to be on FSD than it is to be manually driving. So, and there's one other thing I did want to mention before I end this video. So I have Tesla insurance, and when I first got Tesla insurance, I was working there, so I got a little discount. It was $160 a month, okay, which was tremendous for a brand new vehicle last year. Now, it's steadily gone up. It went from, it just went up $10, $15, $20, whatever. Anyways, last month, my insurance was $230. It's not that crazy. I think I drove 17,000 miles in the first year, something like that. But now it's creeping back down. Okay, it went back down to 200, and then next month is supposed to be 190. So it's creeping back down. So I have to say the Tesla insurance is very, very, it's interesting, but I like that I can improve my driving and I can lower my rates. Do I like that it went from 160 to 230? No. But do I like that it's going from 230 back down to 190? Yeah, I think that's great. So if anyone is watching the video, if you have Tesla insurance, I would really love to hear what your experience has been. I know people in California, they legally cannot base your rates based on your premiums based on your driving. So if you're in California, I guess it doesn't apply. But I'd love to hear from other people who have Tesla insurance. What has your experience been? Because it has been a little bit of a roller coaster, to be honest. And my safety score has always been, I think the lowest it got was like 96 maybe. I mean, it's always been very high. I use FSD a lot. We don't speed around. I have a child, I have a wife, and even for me, I mean, I just am not a speeder. I'm not, maybe. So here's the weird thing. Check this out. I'm going 53 miles per hour. The speed limit's 60. So why is it going 52 miles per hour? Why is the car drive so slow? I have it on standard. It's not on chill mode. It's not on, what's the other one? It's the more aggressive style. It's on standard or normal or whatever it is for the FSD mode. And for some reason, it just drives slow. And that's annoying. Okay, that's annoying, especially, you know, people out in the country. People drive fast, right? Because you're always going for pretty far distances. You don't want to waste all your time driving, so people drive fast. But for some reason, the car is going 52 and a 60. Now I could press on the accelerator and I could quicken it up a little bit. And sorry, I pressed on the brake instead of the accelerator. That's on me. Pardon me. It just popped over. But so okay, I'll press on the accelerator. Okay, we got to 60. Now it's going to 63. Back down to 62, 61. Let's see. 60. Is it 59? Alright, well hey, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. If you've made it this far, I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a like, subscribe if you enjoy this content. I'm going to keep pumping out these FSD videos. I think it's, you know, it's a fun thing to do and it's a fun thing to track, kind of just watching the progression. You know, you have the video evidence of the progression. Stops at the railroad track. Okay, let's see. It's kind of butchering this, isn't it? Okay, go. See, it thinks that red light, that stop light is a red light. Let's see if it gets past this three-way stop. All right. Yeah, okay, that's easy. All right, so thanks again for watching the video. Leave a comment below. I'd love to kind of hear your experience. Tesla, FSD, people hating on Tesla and EVs. It's always an interesting thing. You guys have a great day, and we'll catch you at the next one. Thanks.